Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Jamie. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And on behalf of the Los Angeles Municipal Art Gallery and Department of Cultural Affairs, we are so excited and thrilled to present today's program as part of COLA 2022. As a public and civic institution, we acknowledge that our gallery resides on what was historically the homeland of Kit, Tongva, and Chumash peoples who were dispossessed of their land. We encourage you to share what land you are in the chat today if you feel comfortable, as well as if your pronouns if they are not already on your screen name. Before I introduce and hand it off to Yoshie, I have a few programmatic logistics to go over with you all. First, just if you could please make sure your microphone is muted during the artist talk portion of the program, just so we can prevent any feedback or disruption. And as a reminder, this particular portion of the program will be recorded for archival purposes. For the guided workshop component, we will stop recording the program, and we encourage you, just however you feel most comfortable, to turn on your microphones at that point or use the chat box to participate if you choose to. And just again, just to reiterate, it's whatever you feel most comfortable with. We'll also save the last few minutes of the program for a general Q&A with Yoshie. And we're also really grateful to have sign language interpreters here and live captioning available for the program today. And if you requested either service, we just recommend pinning their windows. And if you have any issues accessing it, just feel free to chat myself or Stephanie Sherwood, who is also here on behalf of the gallery and DCA. And with that, I'm honored to introduce Yoshie. Yoshie Sakai is a multimedia visual artist working in Gardena, California. She holds a BA from the University of California, Los Angeles, a BFA from California State University, Long Beach, and an MFA from Claremont Graduate University. Sakai's work has been featured in exhibitions across the United States, including Coco's Love, a soap opera tale of one family, Antenna, New Orleans, Louisiana, solo exhibition, Coco's Love, the Technicolor Unfairy Tale Ball, Verge Center for the Arts, Sacramento, California, solo exhibition, the Autopopographers, John Michael Collar Art Center, Sheboygan, Wisconsin, and Coco's Neighborhood, University Art Gallery, California State University, Dominguez Hills, Carson, California, solo exhibition. So with that, super, just cannot reiterate enough, really happy to be here with Yoshie, and just to pass it over to Yoshie at this point.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for taking this time this afternoon to share with me opportunity to think about our grandparents and grandmothers. And I'm really grateful to be here. I wanted to thank the Los Angeles Municipal Arts Gallery, Department of Cultural Affairs, and this COLA Fellowship for very much a privilege and an honor for me to be a part of this and to be able to sort of tap into sort of new avenues for my work. So thank you so much. And with that, I'm going to start with my presentation. So what inspires my work now, and I think what has always inspired my work, is my fascination, or just the fascination with the everyday, the quotidian life. So whatever my family, my friends, my coworkers, when I was teaching, my students were inspired by, or their preoccupations sort of become my obsessions or sort of material for the work that I do. Really, it's about the anxieties, fears, and joys that they sort of feel. I like to tap into that and explore. But the crux of my work has always been the subversion of expectations, whether it be that of the mass media, those relate to cultural identity, gender roles, and personal and familiar relationships. And so I want to go back a little bit in time to 2011 to the first excerpt of a video that I'll show, which is called Que Sera Sera. And I wanted to use this video as an example because it informs much of the work, or much of how I do my research when I try to make these videos. And it's essentially like interviewing, talking to people in the community, gathering people's feelings, thoughts, stories. I find it to be very enjoyable and informative. It gives me great satisfaction, and I just really enjoy connecting with people, and it's a very important part of my practice. And this video was also influenced by a Japanese filmmaker, Yasujiro Ozu. And he is a Japanese filmmaker that really focuses on the daily working class Japanese family lives. So they're not big and epic films, but they are about aging, sort of the strengths and weaknesses of family bonds and the communication between different generations. And so I kind of took this as inspiration. And for this piece, I started examining, going out into the community, the diverse community, and asking them about their expectations and things, and ask them very, very kind of cliche questions that maybe people think about, like, oh, what are you most afraid of? What do you regret? And so I asked this of all ages, from infants to people age 93. I asked the same questions, and I gathered their answers, and then I lip synced to them by aging myself by decades. So like in the teens, the 20s. So I kind of tried to dress age appropriate and then lip sync my answers, lip sync their answers to my questions. So I am going to show a little bit of that. Oh, I didn't share my screen.
I was,
that was bad. Okay, sorry about that, everybody.
You're good, Yoshie.
Okay, here we go. Oh, I didn't hide the video panel. Yeah. Okay, so that was the intro slide. So you will see these videos a little later on. But this is the first video that I was talking about, called Que Sera Sera. And so this is like a 1 minute, 30-second excerpt. Here we go.
You know, I'm 93.
I'm a big boy.
I would come back as Jennifer Lopez, yes.
Come back as like Bill Clinton. Be a damn playboy. Oh, I'm just kidding about that. Shit, naturally you're gonna come back as a damn born rich.
美人に生まれ変わりたい。綺麗に。また人生も変わったと思うよ。綺麗だったらこんな人生じゃなかったと思うよ。
What are you afraid of? What the hell am I gonna be afraid of? Afraid of what?
Not having made a difference.
I'm afraid of other people that I don't know, and they might be drug dealers. I don't want to die. And I'm not gonna die for a very long time.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I want to come back again. I would come back as myself. Why would I want to come back as anyone else? I would come back as myself.
And so that was Que Sera Sera. And so the next piece I'm going to talk about, and it's a work that I've been working on since 2014. It still is going on until the present. I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to exit. But so, okay, so now I'm going more inwards and looking at my family dysfunctionalities. And so this is Coco's Love. It is an East Asian American hybrid soap opera series. I'm very much, again, influenced by the people around me. This happens to be because I moved back home with my now 88-year-old mother, and she claims that soap opera, these East Asian soap operas she watches day and night, it's what she lives for. And so even when the pandemic happened, she was just like, great, this is what I do anyway. But I can see where she is very much drawn to these soaps. The addictive sort of narrative storytelling, the outrageous characters. There are very many of them, but at the same time, it really does touch upon like fundamental emotions that are very accessible. And so I decided to use this soap opera genre and sort of reimagine these melodramatic tropes to challenge the sort of model minority aspect, the idea of the guise of superficial perfection, with regards to me being Asian American and a woman. And so this story revolves around the Sakimoto family. It's a fictitious family, loosely autobiographically based, but there is a patriarch, Hiroshi, who insists that a male take over his Coco's liquor store business rather than a female. But the only thing is that Hiroshi only has a daughter, an only daughter, and her name is Yuki. So the story sort of revolves around that premise, and it keeps going on. I have 3 episodes. There are some related variety and videos related to that. I do start with a script and a storyboard. I do green screen, like you see the green screen behind me. I have people voice act to my script, and then I lip sync to them. I'm only the voice of the daughter and the mother. But since it is loosely autobiographically based, and I am the daughter of that previous actual owner of Coco's Liquor, that was my father, I thought it was very important for me to direct, produce, write, and play every character as a performative process for my video. And the absurdity and humor does come from the fact that I play both male and female characters, and they're very exaggerated contemporary family situations. And so I will show now Coco's Love. This is just episode 1, and it's a 1.5 minute excerpt, but the rest you can see like on my website.
Mm-hmm. いつもと同じだ。うちのすぐ近くにあるリクストアは夕べ泥棒に入られた。でもアラームが鳴ったから品物何も取られてなかったけど、フロントドアだけ壊して逃げたんだ。へえ、あなたも気をつけないとね。だからやっぱり男の子がいいんだ。必要だ。男の子だったら泥棒に入られても安心するんだ。ゆき、ごちそうさまって言って遊びに行きなさい。ごちそうさま。Wait here. I'm going to turn off the alarm, so wait here.
So thank you for watching. That was Coco's Love, a little excerpt of it. And when I have the opportunity to whenever I have the opportunity to take over space, or I'm offered a space to occupy, I do like to create installations and environments for my videos. I believe for me, it creates accessibility very easily for those of all ages and of educational backgrounds, and to emphasize the subject matter. And so it's very important for me to, if I can, have these spaces to create these installations. As you can see from this first slide, I am a maximalist. I don't like to have white space showing, so this sort of fullness of my space. But my installations, I believe, are grounded in tangible and what I call fantastical domesticity, which means I have gathered from my hoarder home greasy caked on Lazy Susans, holy tablecloths, couches, and then I mix it up with thrift store finds to create sort of imaginative characters and these sort of flamboyant interior sceneries. This first one is from New Orleans, and the characters I created here, since this is based on the second episode, anytime, and this happens a lot in my soap operas, anytime anyone passes out, they flip into a dream sequence. And in this case, they do. And then we have these guides who sort of represent New Orleans, sort of take the characters throughout their journey. We have Mixed Friendly Beignet and Alligator the Great, and also a Tombstone Tammy. This is great. It was on the second floor of a house, which was a perfect location for my soap opera series. This is, I created a space. It became sort of a high school college gym with championship banners going across the top. And this is the thematic dance that was called the Technicolor Unfairy Tale Ball, since there's really nothing fairy tale about Coco's And then so you walk into a monochromatic gray, black and white room, and then you open the curtains and end up in this sort of colorful space where pretty much all my videos related to Coco's were playing. And then also it's for me to explain like this sort of flamboyant interior scenes kind of reflect how we sort of portray ourselves to the outside world. We may wear these masks, you know, even though we might be crying inside, we put on this picture that we're happy, we're doing well. That's sort of this kind of loud and colorful scenes that I'm portraying on the inside, but I am bringing it to the inside as a distraction for a lot of the pain and shame that we may have within ourselves. And the Coco's Love soap opera does talk about that. And I feel like the installations do add to that scenario and theme. And so this is another installation where I focus on the daughter Yuki character, and she's like wanting a pet dog. There's a super pug character who's trying to help her get this dog. Her parents don't want her to have this dog, but it's in a corner and it's split in half, diagonally half, where it's like half dreamscape and then half reality of the Sakimoto family living room. But we have, you know, shelves for the different animals that she can maybe hopefully obtain or purchase at the pet store. And so these are people in my installations. Another installation where it's You're Married, Now What, which is a newlywed game show, talk show that kind of goes back in time to tell us the story about the main characters, the wife and husband, Hiroshi and Keiko of the Sakimoto family. So I've created, this is not exactly the set, but it kind of changes forms depending on the space. But in this case, you know, we have like the prize wheel and the seats, and we do have a host, and you can see her on the screen. And so now we come to the start of my Grandma Entertainment franchise, and I'll talk a little bit more about that right after this video when we do a virtual walkthrough of the space. But for this, I wanted to, again, kind of go through like my research process. And I have been interviewing a lot of people since last year, talking to them about their grandmothers. I asked like questions such as like, do you remember what they wore? You know, are there any songs that your grandparents liked, your grandma liked? What songs would you associate with them if you don't know what song they liked? If they had any regrets, or even if they didn't, like, how would you reimagine their life to have played out, or their stories? And so I just like to hear what people have to say. And I'm not really sure where it's going right now. I'm thinking I'll probably put together a larger story like a Coco's. It could be fictitious, where the events and scenarios that happen may, you know, are based on true story, but definitely the emotions are real, even if the stories may be made up. But this is just a little snippet of some notes about different grandmothers.
Like elegant postures, and maybe like these, for example. I do this, like I put my hand not like this, but like this, you know. And this is from my grandmother. There's a lot of pictures of her like this. So she was always like kind of altive, how you say it? Like, yeah, really elegant.
That I had with my grandmother were always at the sink, like always in the kitchen, and always her doing something, and like occasionally just like washing dishes. Like even if they were clean, she would just grab a dish, just would be singing.
Amazing grace,
Amazing grace,
how sweet the sound
how sweet the sound
that saved a wretch
saved the wretch
like me.
like me.
I once was lost,
Lord,
now I'm found.
now I'm found.
I was blind, but now I see.
So those are some notes of interviews that I've done that were quite enjoyable to do. Right now I'm at a residency. I have access to a piano and I haven't touched a piano for 30 years, but I'm trying to do it again. So that is the easy version of Amazing Grace. And that's also what Larissa associates her grandmother with, as she was a prominent member of the choir and the music part of the church. And so that was notes on the reminiscing of grandma. And this Grandma Nightclub virtual walkthrough you'll be able to see on the COLA website. I'm just going to talk you through my idea of how I envision the nightclub to look like if it were in person and you were able to actually be in the space. And so this was created by Carlos Avila and Alfredo Gonzalez for this COLA. And so here we are at the Grandma Nightclub, which is going to be part of my Grandma Entertainment franchise, comprised of the day spa, the amusement park, and again here, the nightclub. And so we'll walk into the nightclub. And this idea came to me, I mean, as a way to celebrate and honor our senior community. They are a disenfranchised population. And I feel like it has been neglected by our capitalistic society, or they have been. And so I started to think a lot about this at the height of COVID, or at the beginning of COVID, actually, when all of a sudden there was this like mad rush to try and protect our seniors from COVID. And I really never felt that care or concern from the government ever about the seniors, you know, nursing home care, all that is just really just horrible in our country. And so anyway, I wanted to take this time to celebrate our seniors. There will be a music video, Grandma Nightclub, playing on the dance floor as you make your way through. In the back, I'll have a sign that says meeting rooms, and to the left. And a lot of times I think in the nightclubs, the meeting rooms are sort of the bathroom restroom area. Yes, I have my sink, some like future Grandma Nightclub posters. And then I have two other videos. One will be playing in each bathroom stall. I would like them to be eventually on the door. For this virtual walkthrough, they are in the stalls though. It is to create a more private and personal space where you can experience the videos. It's a little bit different departure from what I usually do, which has a lot more humor in it. These stories are they're very personal, you know, autobiographically based on my maternal figures in my life. And so, you know, there's one about little sacrifices my grandma made, and another one where I'm a unborn fetus kind of warning my mother about the sort of like warnings about, I don't know, how your life would be or not be, like if you didn't have or had children. So those are private, personal, and those will be in the bathroom stalls. You'll come back out. Maybe if you were sad in my bathroom stall tears videos, you would feel better once you're on the dance floor. And so this is my Grandma Nightclub, and hopefully you got a taste of how it would look in real life. So thank you for going through that with me. This will also be on the COLA website, so you'd be able to watch it again, and there is a narration. And so this next video is the actual video that will be playing on the dance floor. This is again an excerpt. I just have to give you a little warning. There's some profanity in here. So, you know, if that is something that you don't want to hear, then I just want to warn you about that in the Grandma Nightclub video. And it is actually choreography to Singing in the Rain by Gene Kelly. But yes, I sort of made this into a karaoke medley version. So yes, celebrating our seniors and their sexual, okay.
And the feeling's right. Oh yes, it's ladies' night. Oh, what a night.
Can you stay up all night, fuck me till the daylight, 34:35. You drink it just like water.
You say it tastes like candy. I don't wanna keep you up, but show me, can you keep it up? Cause then I'll have to keep you up. Shit, maybe I'ma keep you up, boy. I've been drinking coffee, and I've been eating healthy. You know I keep it slow.
I put your boy on rock, and he be lining down the block just to watch what I got. It's so.
Can you stay up all night? You know what that means? Fuck me till the daylight. You know what that means? 34, 35. Means I want a 69 with you. No shit.
Okay, so that was so that was Grandma Nightclub. And yes, it's to celebrate the vitality and sexuality of seniors that we may not normally associate with them. You know, I have a friend whose parents are at like Leisure World, and they're like, there's like these 90-year-old, you know, women who are like still going on dates and having a great time. And so that's definitely a side of the senior community that I would love to celebrate. And so that's my little, you know, a way of honoring them and celebrating them. And this next one is Bathroom Stall Tears Part 1. It is one of the videos that would be playing in one of the bathroom stalls. And again, it's just the little sacrifices older generations make for their younger counterparts. And something I'm super grateful for. I had a really personal relationship with my grandmother. And so, so I'm going to show this video.
And so it goes. Night after night.
Yoshie 先に入れ。わしは後で入るから。
おばあちゃん、can I take a bubble bath today? 今日はバブルバスに入ってもいい？
いいよ。
おばあちゃんが一緒に住んでくれてありがとう。おばあちゃん、I wish you were my sister. お姉さんだったらいいのにな。I hate being an only child.
一人っ子は寂しいね、ヨシエ。
付き合ってくれるお姉さんがいたら寂しくないよ。
同じ年だったら一緒に遊んであげるけど、ごめんね。
よし、ごめんな、わしは何にもしてあげられないで。お小遣いもあげんと。ごめんね。
That's okay, おばあちゃん。I don't need any money. For some reason, she believed Obachan should be giving some allowance to their grandkids, that was part of spoiling them.
So that's Bathroom Stall Tears Part 2, and then Part 1, and now we're on Bathroom Stall Tears Part 2, where I am this unborn fetus inside my mother and kind of telling her or warning her about what her life might become if she were to become a mother. And the reason why I started thinking about this is because I realized, and talking to family, to my parents' friends from long before, they had all these hobbies and things that they did, and their lives seem really, really, I mean, maybe I'm sure they're not regretting their lives now, but they had all these hobbies, which sort of like disappeared once they had me, and all their focus became on trying to provide for me, and which I'm very grateful for. But at the same time, I wonder, like, if I weren't born, and it's not that I'm not happy being born, but yeah, it's just these things these issues that I think about and I deal with. And so here's this video.
Hey, Mama. Hey, can you hear me? Not born yet. It's not too late. Save yourself. Save yourself.
Save yourself. Save yourself.
Chill out with that megaphone. You don't need that to talk with me. I know what you're thinking and feeling without a single utterance. Duh. I've been a character in your other life stories.
I need to warn her. The dangers of motherhood and me being born.
It's too late. You've been conceived and own a megaphone. You've already gone shopping at the local womb mart. All sales final.
どうしてここにいるんだ。愛のない結婚をして、あの人は多分浮気もしてるし、こんな惨めな人生を過ごすの運命なのかな。自分の人生を生きて子供をこれから産まなければ。If I weren't here, life would be more fulfilling.
Or maybe not. それはわからない。
And so yes, thank you for watching, and I really appreciate you going through this process with me. But so thank you so much. And now I guess I'll start the prompt section. So there's some, I guess, prompts that it'd be nice for us to share. Again, this is like the process that I go through whenever I make my work. So I would like to take this time together to remember and honor our grandparents, grandparent figures, and that we can share with each other some grandma movements, mementos, and moments that that remind us of our grandparents, and to celebrate the vibrant senior community and how they enrich our personal lives. So yes, so we'll start. So, okay, JD, we're gonna start now. So my first prompt is, so close your eyes. I mean, you don't have to close your eyes, but close your eyes and visualize your grandma or your grandparent figure. They can be anybody. I mean, you know, and if you don't have a grandparent figure, maybe you can imagine how you would have liked to have a grandparent, like what they would be like, and just think about